Welcome to Exceptions Tier 3. Let's review the ground rules for training. Remember to use the comment discussion section on our YouTube channel for any questions you may have. Complete this training within 5 hours. And as always, do not share any of our internal training materials. We're going to just really briefly review what you've covered in Tier 2. And then we'll get to the training. Tier 3 includes Convey Dashboard, the Order Shipping Problems Group, and International Exceptions. You'll have some time to practice, and as always, there will be a quiz. Before moving on to Tier 3, you should be familiar with the topics covered in Tier 2. This includes Returns Portal, Returns Contact, and intercepts. If you're uncomfortable with or have any questions at all about the Tier 2 topics, please reach out before starting Tier 3. Any questions? All right, let's go. We'll begin with the Convey Dashboard. What is the Convey Dashboard? Convey is our tracking command center. All tracking information for uncommon goods lives in Convey. So this can mean packages, of course, that we ship from uncommon goods to customers, either from our Brooklyn warehouse or our other warehouses in Reno and Indiana. It can be tracking from our dropship vendors to customers. It could also be tracking from our vendors for packages that are coming to us. So they might be sending a giant shipment of an item to Brooklyn, and the tracking for that, if they've used our account, will also be visible in Convey. So you may encounter a tracking number in Convey, and when you use that tracking number to try to locate an order in admin, you won't get any results. That's because a tracking number from a vendor to uncommon goods does not have an order associated with it in our admin system. Only the orders that customers have placed that are living in admin could be searched via the tracking number in admin. So you're going to have the most up-to-date information about packages in the Convey dashboard. For instance, if a dropship vendor ships a product to a customer, but they have not yet uploaded that tracking number to admin, we won't have the tracking in admin, and the customer will not have the tracking in their email yet. However, if that package has shipped, the tracking will be in Convey. If a customer is ever looking for that tracking information and it is not in admin and you think that it should be, if it's like the day that the package is shipping or supposed to ship, you can check in there to see if there's tracking details, and often there will be tracking details for those packages. Convey also sends surveys to customers or gives them an option to provide feedback about their delivery experience. And if we have good feedback, if they say everything's great, we're not going to hear about it. But if they have a poor experience or say that something is wrong, we will definitely be notified via a Zendesk ticket that we will have to address. And we'll cover that later on. Customers can get text messages about their shipments if they so choose. And again, if they do this and realize that there may be something going wrong with the delivery, chances are we are going to hear from them. So overall, this is just a branded experience provided by Convey where we, as well as customers, can track packages. For us, it has all the tracking that we may need in one place instead of having to go all over into individual orders for tracking information. So let's get ready to log into the dashboard. Here's the URL, and you will log in with the credentials you've been given. It's going to be your Uncommon Goods email address as well as the password. So let's go ahead and log in for real. Here we are at the Convey page. I'm entering my email address and my password, and we're going to log in to the dashboard. So here we are at the landing page. These shipments are just pretty recent tracking numbers we received. Over here on the left, we've got a little triangle to click to get specifically into the exceptions issues. Click the triangle. This is going to get us to the exceptions dashboard. This is where we're going to see specifically the issues that we as exceptions team members will need to work on. You can see here the list of views. We've got address issues, return to sender, damages, contact carrier, weather, available for pickup, and held at terminal. We will need to reach out to every customer affected in all of these views except for weather. There isn't much we can do about weather. Chances are we cannot get a package anywhere any more quickly if it has been impacted by weather. So that one kind of just disregard. But the others, we will definitely reach out to customers and try to help them get the packages that are held up for any of these reasons, or packages that are coming back to us. We can reach out to customers about them and make sure to either reship that package as soon as possible or give them a refund for the items that have been returned. To get started, we're going to pick an issue from the list. Typically start with whichever view has the most issues in it. We want to get those down. We want everything to ultimately be at 0. Once you click a view, you'll see only the issues in that view that are current. So this means these orders have a problem of some kind and we have not done anything to correct that or notify the customer yet. We've got a column with the PO and reference number. Those numbers are our Uncommon Goods order number and shipment ID number. The PO number is the shipment ID number and the reference number is the order number. Now in this example, we've got a PO number and a reference number for all of the orders. That won't always be the case. Sometimes you've got one or the other. So just know that you can use one or the other of these corresponding in admin to locate the order there. You could also use the tracking number to search an order in admin, but clicking on that tracking number here in the dashboard is going to bring you to another screen where you can get even more details about that particular shipment. So back at the Convey dashboard, let's select an issue from the views. I've selected address issue, and here we see there are 3 orders affected. I'm going to copy the order number for the first one, look it up in admin, There it is. And let's just see what's going on here. I like to start by actually tracking the package with the carrier. So clicking the link in admin takes you to the convey page, but you can then go to the carrier page. That's where you're going to have the most up-to-date and complete information about the tracking, since the carrier has the package and they have the most information about it. We just saw that this package was returned to sender, which means the carrier is returning the package to Uncommon Goods. Back at the dashboard, we click the tracking for more information. We see our customer's name, tracking details, but you'll notice that they're not as complete as the ones on the carrier website. We've got other details about the package here on the right and a notes field. We'll use that in a moment. So now that we're very familiar with the situation with the package, it's time to contact the customer. You can try calling the customer. That may be fast or not in the case where they don't answer the phone, or it may just be too late to call the customer wherever they are in the world. In that case, it's time to send them an email. Now, luckily, we've got a lot of macros in Zendesk that we can use to accomplish this. This is just one example. But here is a more complete list of the titles of the macros you'll be using to reach out to customers. So let's go ahead and deal with this issue. We can see that the package is being returned to sender. It has an insufficient address per USPS. We're going to go into Zendesk and create a new ticket. Immediately going to the macros, they are there for this purpose. It'll make it much easier to just select the correct macro from the list. In this case, it is the address issue convey macro. And you can just take a look here and see everything that's required. We're going to need to edit this before we send it. So get our order number over here and paste that into the subject. Anything that's in brackets, you're definitely going to want to edit. We also need the link to the tracking information so the customer can view that. So copy that and paste it in the appropriate location. Now we're going to copy the customer's address as they have provided it in the admin order details. Basically, I stop after zip code because we know that we're in the US. And I will then get rid of everything that's not filled in, just to make it a little less confusing, and fix the formatting so that it looks a little better to send to the customer. Finally, we're going to want to let them know, just remind them the shipping method they have selected, which in this case is economy. So I'll go ahead and type that in there. And that ought to do it. Just go ahead and review everything that's in here. Make sure everything that needed to be edited has been edited. Make sure everything makes sense. And then we need to get the customer's email address so that we can reach out to them. Paste it in the requester. And the ticket's ready to go. It will be sent as pending per the macro. You don't need to change any of that. There you have it. You've reached out to the customer. Copy your ticket number. Go ahead and paste that into admin as always. And now we're going to update the dashboard in Convey. So return to your page here. You want to include a note. just say that you've reached out to the customer. Of course, if you have called the customer, left a message, you'll say that. In this case, we sent an email, so I'm going to include the ticket number. Now it's there in case anyone needs to reference it in the future. And you can see that's been updated in the notes. You can see that I've done it. And we can solve this case. No need to keep it open in the dashboard because now we can follow up in our ticket. Once you've reached out to the customer, you may get an immediate reply. More often than not, you'll be waiting on a reply. Once the customer gets back to us, we proceed accordingly. Usually, this means contacting the carrier to update an address or placing a new order if the package is returned to us. Sometimes the customer won't want a replacement. In that case, we're going to refund for the package that has been returned. So you can complete the refund yourself if you know how to do this, or send a ticket to payment and billing if you are unsure about the refund method or just do not have time at that moment to follow through with the refund. It's important that you're proficient in tiers 1 and 2 so that you can handle the resolution once the customer has been reached. You may need to contact the carrier to correct an address or place an internal replacement order. If a refund is needed, issue the refund or send a refund request to the payment and billing group. Now that you've seen the Convey dashboard, here are a few things to think about. Why do we use Convey? CS reviews all of the exceptions in the dashboard except for... How can you tell if someone has already reviewed an issue in Convey? If a tracking number from Convey does not pull up an order in admin, what could be some reasons for this? From beginning to end, what steps do we take when working in the Convey dashboard?